So I will be talking about worldwide engineering license management with reporting hub. And basically, let's introduce myself in first place. So I'm Sinacki. I'm an engineering system IT analyst working for BorgWarner. I have over 10 years of experience in CAX and PLM RES. That means CAD and CA applications, PLM PDM system, Windchill, SAP PLM, and Team Center, HPC high computing clusters. I'm working with support of end users, shaping the relations with key users and training them. I also have experience in license management and advanced reporting that I would like to show you today. So moving to the next slide, the content of this presentation will be about BorgWarner, a glimpse of the past, about our cooperation, OpenLMS Coptena and BorgWarner, and then we will go to the demo where I would like to show you the case study for today evening. Basically, on the end, I will give you a summary of Reporting Hub. So let's move ahead. BorgWarner in numbers. Basically, we are a company of 50,000 employees, 96 locations, 23 countries, and almost 10.2 billion sales at the moment. So basically, I can tell you here that 2 years ago, we have been half of that. So we are growing fast, and we are trying to get on the leadership position in our automotive market. So our vision is basically a clean, energy efficient world, and our mission is to deliver innovation and sustainable mobility solution for the vehicle market. Moving forward, in order to get that leader position, we are investing heavily in acquisition of other companies. And basically, lately we have acquired Delphi technology, which greatly increased our product portfolio, knowledge base, and enhance our combustion commercial vehicles and aftermarket business. This results in more balance across light and commercial vehicles, as well as the aftermarket. So we want to really be on time and get as much from the market as we can, basically by working hard to acquire required skills, talents, and of course, software to develop this. Moving forward about the software and what we need to build. This is our portfolio. So BorgWarner and Legacy has boosting technologies, engine timing systems from the combustion portfolio. From hybrid one, we have boosters, power electronics, e-turbo, in electrics, high voltage, battery modules, power electronics, and so more. Delphi technologies provide additional fuel assembly delivery products, modules, sensors, as well like engine control and transmission controllers, plus some inverters, battery packs, and more. And if you see, our portfolio basically grows more and more. So we can offer to our customers high range of products that they can use in their vehicles. However, now will be the question, what is the software pool to support this kind of acquisition, and basically what we are using? For CAD, of course, we are using the highest ranked CAD softwares like Creo, CATIA, Siemens, and AutoCAD. Basically, for CAE, we use ANSYS and Abacus. Of course, ECAD, electronic part, we currently utilize Altium, ANSYS, and even the Polarion. So it is good information that Coptena has add-on for that to monitor. We might need it soon. So in order to monitor that, we have deployed almost 800 plus license services that combines 40 brokers that are collecting each minute usage from those license servers. And basically that is a very huge environment which we need to watch over. And basically that is a full-time job to prevent from losing any kind of monitoring track, because those informations are valuable for us to analyze and basically perform reporting that is mandatory to make a right decision in terms of software asset management we are having inside BorgWarner. So, glimpse of the past. Basically, we are cooperating together with Secoptena and OpenLM since many years. We basically started from 2011 with OpenLM 1.x version, and until now we have been over all major releases and currently landed up on the V21 version. We deployed in the production system, and we are currently monitoring with the latest version our licenses services. And basically, that is 10 years of partnership and solid collaboration, because as Stefan mentioned, a lot of ideas have been also pushed over us, from us over Secoptena to OpenLM, to make the tool more robust and much more helpful for everybody to do the reporting and manage our license inventories. So, moving forward, the case study. We are all aiming at some point to acquire a global contract. However, that creates a trouble, because acquiring it gives us for sure benefits, and we cannot tell anything else about that, because it's easier to manage total costs. For sure, we don't need to handle multi-vendors, resellers, distributors, and so on. It requires less IT and business workforce and resources to basically manage this. However, despite that, it's easier even to manage the license asset on our side, because there is a team that works on that and do whatever is needed in order to address the needs of the business for the licenses. But that raises up some questions from the business side whenever we are getting a global contract for specific products. And of course, those questions are stacking up. In most of the cases are, what is our inventory? Can we track inventory change and moves over time? Do we have a holistic capabilities of usage evaluation and an optimization? Who uses it? That is the most curious question. And then, can we automate cost distribution? And of course, in many cases, that all ends up in multiple Excels, which are versioned as many times as we have staff working on that, and it's very troublesome to track that over time. So in order to avoid this work effort in the Excel, it's Reporting Hub. So about the demo, the data I want to show you comes from real license model from one of our main top application. Data was modified basically to not reflect any company internal information like cost or structure. So basically here is the answer for one of the questions, how it is regulated in terms of all information. You can basically hide a lot. So Reporting Hub can help you out to do that. You need to spend some time on this, but it's possible. Moreover, moving forward, how I would like to show you, I would like to show you how I can answer those questions with the Reporting Hub. So the first one, what's our inventory? That is a very common question. Everybody wants to know what we are having in-house. So basically, Reporting Hub has capabilities to help to enrich the model in a way that we will see the cost, the region, location, and license type information that we want to and are necessary for us to do the studies. And basically, such kind of dashboards can be built to show the latest only inventory, not the one from the whole year, which can differ over time because we are changing and optimizing it by moving licenses, giving back licenses, or basically stop using them because, let's say, the site is closing and nobody is currently using them, so we need to decide to transfer or not. And basically, that then can end up in customized dashboard like this. And now I would like to go over to the example we have here. Basically, with the reporting hub, you are free to go and customize as you want, especially for this conference. All the columns are related and named ESLM. And you can see basically here we can empower the model to see the region where the licenses are. What license feature we have. Also, we can name them as we want to get more transparency for the business that will not know about fancy naming of the licensing from vendor. And each vendor has different one, hard to understand sometimes. We will have the quantity of those licenses installed on the servers. We have location details. We have type of license. Here is one of the also question. We can differentiate, make additional one, not only related to named user license, floating, and so on. We can say those are local licenses, can be installed only in the location. They can be global, global restricted, maybe regional, depending on the model. We can add additional information like cost and cost calculation of the total pool. And the best thing is that anybody that comes here can look over on the specific environment for the region, can concentrate on the single type or couple of types, or just go with one and basically discard the rest if needed. So here we have flexibility to look over whatever we want in the model. And that provides to the top management the answer, what we have, what are the prices, what is the total accumulated cost of the licenses at each location. So that is how we answer this question. This is just recording. So question number 2, can we track the inventory change moves over time? So basically, this dashboard doesn't look nice at the moment. However, I would like to highlight that we can implement a lot of information in the single line with reporting hub by concatenating the information from many attributes tables. And this works basically in a live demo as follows. I can change the time range in first place. So we can, depending on how many data we will put inside the system, we can look over year, 2 years, 3 years. It's up to you. Then we can track how environment change over the region. As you can see, it will right away show all location and licenses in specific location and region. We can go over each one and see how the users look like. If we are interested only in one feature, we can discard this filter and put this one. And we are seeing basically that T3 feature is going down in terms of numbers. So we are discarding it, giving it away. T2, we can see that it's appearing as new at some of the locations. There were growth of the licenses inventory in some of them. If one of the location 3, and then we drop down by 7. The same goes for T1 and so on. So we can basically do many things with that. We can examine each location specifically. It's up to us, and basically it's the limit of how to present the data. It's only lying on the side of an IT analyst that is doing those reports. So now, that is how we can answer question 2. So question number 3, do we have a holistic capabilities of usage evaluation and optimization? Yes. Basically, we are capable of building up this kind of complex dashboard that can be drilled down up to one server one license feature, sorry, server location, and we can define working hours to narrow down our search. And if we go to this part, let's have a look on how it will basically change over time. This one is a daily license usage levels, and it's showing the whole usage from 1st of January till today. The second one below is basically over hours, over 24-hour range. The table over here is a helpful information for me to see where I should look for optimizing some assets. I see that one of them is very good in optimization level, so I will not bother about that because it seems to be used very often. But let's say that I would try to review the ones on the bottom. So I can figure out if I don't want to have weekends included or not. It's possible. We, of course, can go location by location. So let's take location number 3. Over here, we see everything here is working for us and modifying the data and preview based on our selection. We can here differentiate if we want to see local license or global restricted. And then here we can finally go to T1 and see what is happening over here. And as I said, no, this is America. We should adjust the hours to the ones that are basically real working hours, let's say from 11, and then we're having more detailed preview on that. And this over here, I am starting to investigate that, okay, we are reaching really once over last year, 5 license usage. We have spikes up to 4, but to be honest, we could live with maybe 2 or 3 licenses in total. So we don't need that much licenses over here. So we can move them and transfer to any other location. And basically here, we can start to look by discarding those hours, sorry, we can have a look what is happening elsewhere, which gives us now a good example where the usage is kind of huge because of that peaks. We try to adjust that, but we notice after some time that it's dropping and there was a request to change that. Of course, we can modify the time range to go up to more recent view of that server to see what is happening over here and adjust again the working hours because that is an European location. So they start around about 7 and finish around about 16. And this all now shows us what is the optimization level, average, max. Additionally, I forgot to mention the safe win is basically telling us if we can reduce something or not. Over here, it reported there was a spike of 20, so it will tell us that there is no safe win. But if we will try to look somewhere else, maybe like here, we will see that currently over here we can remove 12 licenses because nobody is using them. The spikes are not frequent. We are just recording at twice a day or 3 times a day, sorry, at specific hours. So this can give you the reporting hub, and it is really one of the type of customization I'm using for evaluating license models from the vendors. Now, if we go forward, next information is who use it. Basically, everybody wants to know who is using what, and of course, unfortunately, we need to use user information like logins and whatever is reported by the license log and license service managers. And here, OpenLM has this capability to synchronize user information with the AD, which provides valuable information. However, here is a point, we don't need to reveal them. We can hide them or not even import in reporting hub later on. We just need some kind of base that helps us out to group them because OpenLM has fantastic functionality to group, automate and group users based on specific Active Directory profiles, which will result in easier identification who and from where it's using our licenses. And of course, having that kind of functionality is a must-have because those two working together will provide outstanding and high-quality data for reporting hub, which will help you to really build up a ton of good reports that will be showing exactly what and who is using and how much. That is a base that everybody are looking for. And to be honest, without that, we cannot work at the moment because licenses need to be paid. We need to know by who, and the global contracts are very difficult in this case because the informations are need to somehow match to the users. So here I will show basically an example how this can be done and what it can do. Basically, we are now looking at T3 license local in the location 3. Thanks to reporting OpenLM and Active Directory synchronization, let me turn on the weekends. I am capable of creating a heat maps that are basically showing who is working on the weekends with the licenses. We can later on track that. But more important is that the heat map is showing over here days and the hour range. We can basically tell him to avoid looking at the hours where the usage is concentrated. And this can be done on the full year for each server. Now, here is where the data synchronization with OpenLM kicks in, because over workstation and groups that we manage to synchronize based on specific attributes in our company, we are capable of showing which workstation, and here we can also hide the information about them, are using in most of the case the data, the licenses. Based on that, we can harvest now the information about usage of that single workstation that created 363 hours over a selected period, and we can evaluate for each day the most important case. If the user is using on that workstation license more than 8 hours. At some cases, you can see there are usage over more than 8 hours, but as I know that model behind and configuration of the license services, I know that he was really working on that, because we have very good timeouts put in place, and it's basically not allowing anybody to leave license floating on a user PC more than 15 minutes. So that is a constant usage. Of course, many vendors will give you many different approaches for that. Sometimes they will prevent from timeouts to work. And here is where monitoring executable can be helpful very much, because that basically connects everything together. You can see which licenses are used, but on by the executable, you can figure out if it's idling and the vendor doesn't support the timeout. So that can be case study for everybody to figure out who is just sitting on license, not doing anything. And now, as I can go to the workstation, I can basically jump to a group. And here I can basically freely browse all the users that are using our licenses. I can identify some kind of small users that are basically connecting from time to time. This is kind of interesting case to investigate if we should lock down access to those, just to cancel this kind of license blocking for 15 minutes or half an hour or something. But we also can differentiate which users or workstations are really the users, and others that are just trying to use the tool for some kind of purposes, and maybe we should basically restrict that even more. So this is what you can get with Active Directory and OpenLM. Moreover, this is recording. Now, the most important question of all. Everybody wants to have fast way to automate the cost distribution. And basically, with Reporting Hub, that is possible. This kind of exercise can take 2 to 5 days, depending on the license model, because there are many of them. The token models can give really a painful workload for you to achieve this kind of automized cost distribution dashboard. However, once accomplished, you are getting clean view of who is using what and pays for what and how much. Now, if we go simply to the presentation, on this demo, I can tell you that based on with the Active Directory that we have synchronization we are having, all groups are identified here. Their usage time is present over here. We can distinguish the usage for each feature that has been in our portfolio. That also applies for any packaging features like Oren mentioned on the beginning. We can create packages over here and assign multiple features inside, and everything will work exactly as it is here, identifying hours for T1, T2, and T3. It can, based on the total usage of those features, identify percentages, which can be later used to identify who should pay what for each different price of the product that you have in the BAM. And basically, you can quickly see that somebody can pay really nothing for T3, T1, but can be very heavy consumer of T2 licenses and will basically be charged by mainly by those. But this is clearly visible over here. And moreover, that can be exported to final Excel version that finance team will be happy to see. And for you all, as we have always questions from later on managers, how the user distribution over those T1, T2, T3 looks like over workstation, we can provide that. And as per GRPD, this is fine because we are just revealing workstation information, not user behind it. So it can be anybody over there. So in our case, that is a valid information, and that can help out to cut, for instance, this kind of workstation usage that is just producing some kind of usage cost, but over that period of time, it's really nothing. And most important thing about this model is that if I will slide on the right side, it is starting to recompute the information that is stored inside and will show new numbers. You see now the 100,000 changed to 80 based on the latest data that I have added here. So you can basically decide to distribute the cost all over at 1 year, quarterly, monthly. It will do a calculation of that and basically do correct calculation and cost split accordingly to recorded hours. And yeah, that's basically it. So that is a recording of this dashboard. And basically, summary of Reporting Hub is that it's easy to adapt an optimized and fast solution. It can provide you on-time reporting quickly, and the data refresh can be achieved in a few minutes, which we have seen a second ago. And basically, it's very flexible, it's reusable. There was a question about the common schema. It's a Reporting Hub. It's basically showing everything in the same schema. You just need to be really aware about your license model and know about some kind of special information, special source that vendors are putting into their license model. And teach Reporting Hub how to deal with that. Is it a named user model, token model, whatever? It can be achieved over here and gives you less redundant work later on because um, it's easy to reuse as a data analytic tool. It has expression and measurements that can additionally be put it, and they are written all by me in our example, and can give you a lot of free flexibility and freedom in deciding on how to do that. Moreover, it's really reliable, provides advanced filtering, and basically here you are the only limitation that you can put inside, because you can add more and more data based on existing one, create new columns, change variables, or add them additionally to have more insight. And basically, I can tell you, I'm using Reporting Hub in order to show in the license model perspective our company structure, which is helping me easily to identify who should pay for what and when. So that gives us a lot of freedom and less work to do, as it has a date constraints. As I show, we can basically charge quarterly, monthly, whatever. We can basically easily change the date, and as a result, Reporting Hub has it all. And based on some examples in the past, all the way doing that only over OpenLM, exporting Excel, collecting information, and so on. So could take up to 12 man days for one feature or two. Now with Reporting Hub, after doing that, this time in the year goes to half of a day. And that can go up to top 5 license vendors we have, and really help out to reduce the workload for reporting, which is really, really time consuming. So that's what Reporting Hub is. Can give you really help on analyzing difficult and big license models. Also can be used over Power BI. You can connect with Click, whatever tool you will pick to analyze. So thank you very much. That was all from my side. And if you want to know about BorgWarner more in presentation, there will be links to our main page. Veronica, I'm giving back the voice to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniel. Okay, we have few questions here, so let's start. Okay. How difficult was it to configure a Reporting Hub?
Not really difficult. You can do it with help of OpenLM. They will support you. And it's up to you really to buy the extension and connect the model. OpenLM even provides a startup Reporting Hub dashboards built in Power BI, which can help you out go over this. So I assume after everything or the official formal things are done, you need 1 day.
Okay, thank you. Next question from Ray. How is the cost entered to the report?
You have, how to say, I'm known from shipping costs from OpenLM directly to Reporting Hub. You can find a way. I cannot tell you exactly how it is, but you can do this, or you can basically do it in the ATO when transformation is happening, or directly in Reporting Hub over Power BI. Many ways. Basically, you are limited to pick which one you want. And you can.
Okay, we have another question here. Which data analysis tool is being used in your example? I think you mentioned it.
Data analysis tool. Oh,
yeah.
Analysis tool is Power BI. Basically, that is the tool. There can be used, as I said, Click, Tableau. You just need to spend more time on how to load the model and how to manage the relations between the tables, but everything is provided by OpenLM provides you the schema of connections, and you can map it together with your database specialist and the analytic that is working in any BI tool.
All right. Next question is that Power BI reporting hub connected to OpenLM, REST OData, or directly to OpenLM DB?
No, it's an external database, and that is a good thing because you don't want to load your main database with additional query and workloads, and those reports can be heavy. So you will get basically a separate database which you can how to say stress a lot and do whatever you need to make your report without harming the production system.
Okay, and one last question. I think it's a general question. How many engineers are there in your company? Like how many users, I suppose?
Well, we are supporting almost 4,500 at the moment. So we are basically having so many active users that are currently utilizing the portfolio I have shown.
Okay, thank you, Danielle. The questions are done now. Thank you very much for a great presentation. Okay, so I will not, take over from your presentation from your side. I will share with you the agenda once again. And I want to tell you that we're going to have a 15 minutes break right now. But during the break, we will launch a poll and we would love to hear your opinion about that. It concerns the challenges you're facing in license management. There are just a few questions. So while you're drinking your coffee, please complete this poll. After the break, we're going to have Evan Orgel from ServiceNow talking about item challenges and ways to get ahead. So stay with us. Don't go. We're going to have a 15 minutes break and we are back. So let me share the poll of you. Here we go. And see you in 15 minutes.